大家好啊！我係汪家志註冊脊醫 dr.joe。喺香港嘅註冊脊醫咧，人手短缺嘅問題咧越嚟越嚴重。其中一個原因咧就因為香港係冇一間自己嘅脊醫學院。呢個問題咧點樣辦呢？今次咧就邀請到外國嘅嘉賓嚟同我哋咧宣佈一個好重要嘅消息。Dr. Joe, Dr. 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 Joe, Joe and no. Hello everyone. Today we have two special guests from overseas. Dr. Richard Brown, Secretary General for the World Federation of Chiropractic, and Professor Christina Cunliffe, the Principal of the McTimoney College of Chiropractic. Welcome both of you to Hong Kong. Dr. Brown, can I ask you some questions about what do you think about the chiropractic development in Hong Kong?
Well, it's been fantastic to witness the development of chiropractic over the last number of years. Clearly, one of the most important steps that Hong Kong took was the passing of legislation in relation to chiropractic, which means you're governed by an Act of Parliament, you have a Hong Kong Chiropractic Council, but that to see the evolution and development of the profession over many years, the growth of chiropractors within Hong Kong, the growth of operations and the way that chiropractors operate, their popularity in the community within the Hong Kong environment has been wonderful to witness. And clearly the developments that are coming down the track as well, the very exciting developments that are coming in terms of education are very, very exciting to witness.
How do we compare with the other Asian countries in terms of the chiropractic development and also the Western countries?
Well, chiropractic has been established for well over 120 years, and countries have developed at different rates over the course of this time. Over 80% of the chiropractic profession is still based in North America, United States and Canada, but countries around the rest of the world are really catching up fast. And there's some great innovations taking place here in Asia that we've witnessed. Not just in Hong Kong, but also in other countries. We have large numbers of chiropractors now operating in Japan, and most recently Malaysia has seen a significant growth in the profession. And this really goes back to the developments in terms of legislation, of regulation, recognition by the public, by the government, and the popularity of chiropractic is spreading. Hong Kong is doing extremely well when it comes to the development of the profession, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen over the next decade.
I'm proud to be a registered chiropractor in Hong Kong, but is there any way that we can do to become more recognizable, and collaborations, what we can do to collaborate with other professions so that maybe like research or other things that we can do?
Well, healthcare is no longer siloed. It used to be the case that individual health professions would operate largely independent of each other. But now we're seeing a breaking down of those silos, thank goodness, and we're seeing much more interprofessional collaboration take place. Patients crave interprofessional collaboration. They want joined up thinking between their healthcare providers, and interprofessional collaboration is really helping to achieve that. So working alongside other health professionals, being able to share information, share expertise, develop networks, develop a forum for best practice is really what patients want. It's good for chiropractic. There are great opportunities, not just in terms of education and teaching, but also in terms of research collaboration, but also practice collaborations. And we're seeing more and more interprofessional clinics taking place where patients can come and have a range of services all under one roof, including chiropractors. And I think that's a fantastic development.
So what are your plans in your term of office as the Secretary General of the World Federation of Chiropractic?
Well, I've been privileged to hold the office of Secretary General of the World Federation of Chiropractic now since 2015. It's been a huge privilege to hold this office, and we've been able to achieve a large number of things during that time. What do I want to do in the future? Well, the focus of the WFC is very much about having all people of all ages in all nations have access to chiropractic services. We recognize that the provision of chiropractic care around the world is still not equal. There are large parts of the world that still do not benefit from chiropractic services. So our ambition is to ensure that we can expose populations to chiropractic services so they can thrive and reach their full potential. But I also want to see much more equity and equality within the profession. We have a growth in the number of women leaders within the profession, and I want to see that continue. It's been growing, but it's not quite at a level that I would like to see. So that's something we want to do. We also want to develop our interprofessional collaboration. We want to expand regulation, legislation and education throughout the world globally and ensure that professional standards are the very highest that they can be.
Professor Cunliffe, I know you have a special news announcement for our audience today. So what is the news?
Yes, indeed I do. I'm very pleased to be able to announce that we are going to open the first chiropractic college actually in Hong Kong. This is groundbreaking news and will be an enormous opportunity for the profession to establish and grow within the country itself. At the moment, chiropractors are graduated from all around the world and come and work in Hong Kong because it's a great place to work. But to have a college yourself in your country is, I think, the big news that will be reverberating around the world when this announcement goes worldwide.
Can you tell us about the program and the detail, how long is the program to our audience?
Yes, the program is exactly the same as the program we run in the United Kingdom. It is a 4-year Masters in Chiropractic program, and across those years, students initially learn about human biology, they learn about pathologies, they learn about clinical medicine and how to differentially diagnose, because actually this program is pretty much equivalent to a medical degree program. But what makes it a chiropractic program? What makes it a chiropractic program is alongside that, students are learning all about chiropractic techniques, the philosophy and the why we do what we do, and are embedding themselves in clinical studies that are evidence-based, person-centred and also intercollaborative, working with other professions. In the final master's year, they run a clinical practice, just as if they were working in their own practice, because it's important that when they graduate, they are able to take their place as chiropractors as part of the profession.
Can I know who is eligible for admission? So are there any requirements?
In terms of entry requirements for the program, yes. These are pretty much international requirements for entry to any health professional program. Students will need to have HKDSE at level 4 or above. Importantly, they must have biology and 2 other science subjects. We also get students joining us who have higher degrees in other subjects as well, but the minimum level is HKDSE level 4 or above.
Are there scholarships and also student loan for this program?
We want to attract the broadest range of students possible. What we're interested in are students that have energy and commitment and want to take their place in the chiropractic profession. But yes, of course, we want to attract students who are particularly high performers. So there will be scholarships for students who are doing particularly well in their studies. We want to encourage to join the profession. And there will also be loans available as part of this program from the Hong Kong government.
Can you tell us why your college decided to open the first program in Hong Kong?
Yes, I think there are 2 reasons for that really. One is we already graduate Hong Kong students in the United Kingdom, so we knew that there was a great market for properly qualified chiropractors to come into Hong Kong. But the other reason is that as a college we are unique in that we not only have 2 sites in the United Kingdom, one in Oxford and one in the north of the United Kingdom, but we also have a campus in Madrid in Spain, and this is another leg of our international opportunities to bring chiropractic education around the world. Because what we find is that where there is a chiropractic college, chiropractic grows exponentially. So seeing the potential for chiropractic in Hong Kong, it was obvious to us that we had to use our abilities to start a program here in the country itself.
Can you tell us more about the process of getting this program through? I know there must be a lot of meetings, a lot of nights. Can you describe to us how hard it is to push this program forward?
Yes, these things always look easy on the surface, but behind this, the process is very great. We have had experience in opening campuses in other countries, so we had that experience anyway. And one of the most important things is to work with a local partner, because this is about working with the local chiropractic community to bring the education to Hong Kong. But yes, we have had to go through a rigorous process with the Hong Kong Education Bureau to get the necessary approvals. And I think one of the things that gave them confidence in that process is that we are already highly accredited by the European Council on Chiropractic Education, so they knew that we provided quality education, but we had to be registered here as a non-local provider providing non-local education. But working with our partners here in Hong Kong, even though it was it probably took about 2 years from start to finish to get this off the ground, but working with people here who understood the processes, leveraging off our experience of international accreditations, made that, looking back on it now, a pleasurable experience to bring the whole thing to fruition.
Professor, can you tell us, when will this program start?
This program will actually commence in this next academic year, so September 2023. So not long to wait now, and we are recruiting now for our first cohort of students to start off this exciting new venture.
Final questions for both of you. Why did both of you decide to pursue a career in chiropractic, as an educator, as a practitioner? Dr. Brown, can you tell us?
Well, I was never destined to be a chiropractor. I grew up on a farm in a rural part of the United Kingdom where chiropractic was virtually unknown. This was in the 1980s. It was suggested to me that chiropractic may be a career that would interest me. I went into chiropractic knowing very, very little about it, but I can honestly say it is one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. I have been able to have unbelievable experiences as a chiropractor, both in sport and education and research and working with other groups, and now working internationally. The opportunities that I've been given have been great, and I've been fortunate enough to be able to seize those opportunities and make the most of them. So I've developed a passion for the profession which has evolved over 30 years. I continue to have that passion for the profession now, and I would recommend anyone thinking of a career in healthcare to consider chiropractic.
And Professor, what do you think?
Well, I also did not wake up one day and say I want to be a chiropractor. I'm a researcher by training. I worked for what is now AstraZeneca as a researcher for many years. I then went into business and ran a multi-million-pound business. But somewhere along the way, a chiropractor had helped me. And what that did was it opened up my eyes to the potential of chiropractic, because frankly the medical profession had not helped me, but my chiropractor did. And that seed was planted. And then I retrained and I became a chiropractor, and I've never looked back since, because what I've done as a chiropractor is, I am still in practice by the way. I run a large international chiropractic education institution, but I remain in practice because of the joy I get by seeing my patients, by being able to stand up in front of my students and say, I had a patient the other day, and to bring that case study information into their educational training. So I have that fabulous opportunity to be a chiropractor, to research into chiropractic, to teach chiropractic, and to teach the chiropractic professionals of the future. And I have never regretted for a moment the choice that I made to become a chiropractor. And being able to get up every day and do a job that you love has got to be worth doing.
Wow, that's great. Thank you very much for coming to my show. And I think my audience learned so much about chiropractic and the great news. So thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Thank you. 真係好興奮啊！香港終於有自己嘅脊醫學院啊！ 9月有正式嘅一班啦，而家正式招生。如果你嘅屋企人、朋友或者親戚、孫仔孫女有興趣好似我咁樣成為香港一位嘅註冊脊醫，去幫助人去醫佢哋嘅痛症呢，不妨遊覽香港執業脊醫協會嘅網站 cda.org.hk 去查詢，立即報名啦！Dr. Joe, Dr.